Hello, you are most welcome. I'm teacher Ivan from Wuna Educational Services. We are still looking at functions. So far we have looked at the first two questions from functions in our previous lesson. So we are here to look at question 3, which says that given that g of x equals to ax plus 2b and g of -1 equals to 3, whereas g of 0 equals to 4, they want us to find the constants a and b. So the general function is given as ax plus b, but we are given the g of -1 as 3. So meaning that in the general equation where we have x, we shall replace with -1, meaning that this equals to a into -1 plus b. And therefore, this gets us 3 equaling to -a plus b. We can take this as our equation 1. Then we are also given the g of 0 as 4. So if we consider g of 0, which equals to 4, but this one is given as, when we substitute in the general equation where there is x is where we shall write our 0, since this one is g of 0. So that gives us a into 0 plus b, hence giving us 4 equaling to a times 0 is 0 plus b, which gives us 4 as the value of b. And now, after getting the value of b, we can use the generated equation to get the value of a by substituting in for b. So we shall say that from 3 equaling to -a plus b, then we get 3 equals to -a plus 4. So the 4 crosses the equal signs to become a minus, hence giving us 3 minus 4 equaling to -a, which is -1 equaling to -a. We divide it through by negative, and we end up with the value of a as 1. So therefore our a equals to 1 and b equals to 4. Those are the values of a and b. Let us look at our fourth question and functions. Yes, in question 4, we are given that the function f of x equals to x plus 3 over 2, and g of x equals to 1 minus 2x over 5. So they want us to find the inverse of 1, that's the inverse f inverse of 1 and the g inverse of 1. So let us start with getting the f inverse of 1. However, for us to get the f inverse of 1, we shall first of all get the f inverse of x. So we shall say from the function which is f of x, which equals to x plus 3 over 2, there are 3 simple steps of getting the inverse of a function. Step 1 is to let f of x be, let's say, y. So where we have f of x, we shall write y. So that gives us y equaling to x plus 3 over 2. That is step 1. Step 2, we make x the subject. We make x the subject. So from here, we shall multiply through by 2, which gives us 2y equaling to x plus 3. Then we take this 3 the other side, which gives us 2y minus 3 equaling to x. So we've made x the subject. We are remaining with only one step and the final one, that is replace y with x and x with the f inverse now of x. So mean that from here where there is y, we shall write x, that is 2x minus 3, and where there is x, we shall write the f inverse of x, and therefore that gives us the f inverse of x as 2x minus 3. Now, after getting the general function of the inverse, we now remember our question is asking for f inverse of 1. So where there is x is where we shall write 1, that is to say 2 into 1 minus 3, which gives us 2 minus 3, hence ending up with a negative 1. So that is how we deal with the inverse of a function. Now that we've seen the 3 steps of how we get the inverse, my request is that you find this as your practice question. Yes, we are going to get the same procedures, and first get the g inverse of x. After that, we substitute x with this to get the g inverse of negative 1. Otherwise, that has been our second lesson. We are still looking at functions. We meet next time. Bye bye.